Good day, everyone. For those of you that may not be familiar, I began my real estate career in PM. From I was a little girl, I was visiting construction sites and checking in with tenants. I was actually an apprentice and an employee way before I was even a teenager. And I remember promising myself that one day when I get a little bit older, I'm going to get my license and learn the business of real estate from an academic standpoint and from a consumer standpoint. However, I wanted nothing to do with PM. I remember hearing all of the horror stories between what goes on in the home, what the tenants can do to the home, to property management, to the landlord, just all of these horrific challenges that could come up with renting out a property, whether it's an investment property, hospitality property, or a home that you occupy one side and you have tenants on the other. I just remember hearing the craziest, wickedest horror stories. If you're at that stage in your home ownership journey like me and you're considering renting out your property, take my foolish advice and listen to these tips when you are considering renting out your property. Research. I cannot emphasize enough that you definitely want to research the property management company. Not only the company, you want to research their leadership, you want to research their past performance, you want to research the tenant experience, and you also want to research the property owner experience. I am not an attorney, but if you do decide to utilize a property management company and they require that you sign a contract, please make sure you are reading that contract and you understand the terms and conditions that you are agreeing to. You want to make sure your home is well maintained at all times and marketable. And you also want to make sure you get an updated property inspection. Communication. When you are in the exploratory phase and you're researching different property management companies, you definitely want to take into consideration how they communicate and how quickly they respond. If you are reaching out via phone, text, email, and you're asking like basic questions in regards to how the property management process is going to be handled, and they're giving you the runaround in the beginning stages, that's definitely a huge soaring red flag. It's just like dating. Like you just started dating and they're already ghosting you, they're giving you the runaround, they're standing you up. It is not going to get any better. So you might as well cut ties from early. Just think about it. If there's already miscommunication this early on in the property management phase dealing with you as the homeowner, just imagine when you have a tenant in place in your property, something goes wrong with maybe the utilities or maybe the payments just aren't paying like they're supposed to, then imagine reaching out to that property management company and they take days to respond. Or let's say they're supposed to coordinate a maintenance company coming out and fixing something and they take forever to coordinate that. It's not a good look. It's not a good feeling knowing you as a homeowner, you are trying your best to carve out time to reach out and make sure things are going smoothly with your home, even though you are not even the property manager. The whole point of property management is to have someone take that stress off of you, a professional. Lastly, market volatility. You want to consider, is this even a good time for you to be renting out your home? I know you're thinking about all the additional income you can make from it. Let's just say you move out of your home and you put a tenant in place and you move to a different area, and for whatever reason, unfortunately, it may not work out. So you're thinking of having to go back to your own home, but you can't because you have tenants in place, and this current administration, there's just so much uncertainty. You never know, there could be an executive order or there could be a moratorium in place to where the process to have that tenant removed from your own property so you could move back into your own property, that process could be delayed. If you're anything like me and you've put in blood, sweat, tears, years to get to this level in your home ownership journey, you definitely want to mitigate as much risk as possible. So hopefully you found these tips helpful. If you have any additional questions in regards to property management, home ownership in general, or if you are thinking of listing your home instead of renting it out, please feel free to contact me. My name is Sharon Pennant. I am the licensed real estate broker of Pennanti Intercontinental Realty. My cell is 929-949-5432. My email address is pirllcrealty@gmail.com. Take care.